Alright po, nasa step 3 na po tayo. Kanina po discuss ni Sir Randolph yung atin pong natapos po tayo dun sa workshop number 2 natin on the policy option. Now, we are tasked to discuss naman from the gaps identified papunta po doon sa goal natin. We will transform po our vision reality gaps into sectoral goals. Bago po muna yan, we should first describe po the difference of a vision to a goal. Sabi nga po natin, a vision describes an end state scenario. Ano ba yung gusto nating ma-attain pagkatapos po ng 6 na taon na ito? Usually po, or often stated po ito in the present tense or past participle. That is our vision. While our goal naman po, pay attention to this, these are specific desired future state naman po na hindi naman po ito nag-assume o stated po in a already attained manner. Usually po in a form of infinitive, a to plus a verb. Notice po on this screen, nakikita po natin ano po, the goal statement po. Dito po nasa left side. These are example of statements po na goal statements. First po is to achieve a rational distribution of the region's population. Another one is to ensure access to economic opportunities and social services. Ikatlo po is to attain optimal utilization of natural resources. At ang ika-4 po dyan is to preserve and maintain integrity of the environment. Notice on the color po, no? Nilalam natin, zip po natin siya into one statement. And then doon sa kabila ko natin, a place where a population are distributed rationally and have access to economic opportunities and social services, where the resources are optimally utilized and integrated, where the integrity of the environment is preserved and maintained. Notice on the color po, yung mga goal statements po natin are stated separately. Per sector po then into a vision statement naman po, ilalam natin sila, ipagsasama-sama natin. Notice on the modifier, yun po yung ating vision statement. Sabi nga po natin, goal statements are specific actions to be taken para po magawa natin o ma-attain po natin yung ating pong inaasam na vision. Now, goals, sabi po natin, these are concrete, measurable po in terms, ito pong ating mga goal statement po. Ito po yung clear statement ng vision na yung actual accomplishment po na ano po yung dapat nating ma-achieve para po maging reality yung vision natin. Sabi nga po natin, this is an end toward, design po ito or action trends naman po. Katapusan po ng lahat ng mga pinanggagawa natin. Our goals po are our guiding light para po ma-attain natin yung ating pong end scenario. Sectoral goals are whatever it takes po para yung ating pong gaps na na-identified natin kanina po ay ma-turn po natin into identified po natin per sector ay ma-turn natin into reality. Sabi natin po ulit-ulit, this is the success story, yung ating mga sectoral goals. Desired end result po ito, derived po ito from a particular element po dun sa ating po mga vision statement. Diba po meron tayong mga descriptors doon. May ginawa po tayong mga success indicators allocated for a particular success, particular vision element descriptors. Dapat po, ito yung ating laging tatandaan when crafting a particular sectoral goals. Consistency is the key. Ibig ko sabihin nito, it is necessary and a must na lahat po ng polisiya actions to be taken by the LGU, be it in the form of programs, project activities, legislative measures man, and other regulatory measures, ay dapat makakakontribute sa realization po ng ating pong vision. Dapat po, consistent po yung ating actions to be taken. Sabi natin po, the purpose or the importance of goals sa planning ay na-sum up natin into 3. First is an end toward, which are yung atin pong end toward, which all lahat po ng actions natin specified po doon sa plan natin ay directed. Set of criteria din po natin ng ating mga goals for us to evaluate alternative strategies and approach. Ano ba yung tama, ano ba yung dapat mauna, ano ba yung dapat natin pong isagawa. Standard din po ito against which a success or a failure of each action is to be measured. Tapos na ba? Kailangan ko pa ng intervention? May kailangan akong idagdag? May kailangan akong modify? Kailangan ko pang i-max out? Kailangan ko pang i-minimize? Those are questions. Pag nakita mo kasi yung standard, those are the questions, guiding questions for you na hindi mo pa naaabot yung standard. So, kailangan mo pang mag-exert, mag-minimize man, o kung ano man po ang dapat isagawa ng LGU to attain a particular goal. Now, the concept, the sources of goals in planning po are derived from the mga succeeding pong slide. First is the universal concept of public interest. Public health and safety po, nakaderive tayo dyan, nakalink tayo dyan. Convenience, economy, environmental amenity po. We also have, for as a source of our goal in planning po, guided tayo ng general welfare goals. We have the regional physical framework plans, several national policies po in the local communities, the needs po of the local communities. Section 16 po, the general welfare clause of the local government code, stated po several goals po. Pwede tayo nag-take off doon na several goals. The general welfare goals natin, stipulated po dito sa ating slides, first and foremost is the preservation and enrichment of culture, succeeding promotions of health and safety, and succeeding provisions pa po dito would also serve as our guiding source of goal formulation. Again, our regional physical framework plan, nakastipulate din po dito sa mga statement na ito, ay mga particular goal source po na pwede nating mapag-angklahan ng atin pong gagawing mamayang goal formulation. Kanina po, diniscuss ito sa atin ng maigi ni Sir Randolph. These are the sources of sectoral goals. Ang conditions derived from the following, like the VRG natin, the EPFSM natin, the back overlay analysis natin, CBMS, SLG, admin data, and so forth po na mga pwede nating pagkuhaan are treated natin as observed condition. Ano hong ibig sabihin? All analysis po, all data po derived from the given po are to be treated as observed conditions or reality po ngayon ng inyo pong LGU. That is why it is very important, in-reiterate namin, is the evidence-based planning. Ibig sabihin po, may pinanggalingan kung bakit mo sinabing 7, may pinanggalingan kung bakit mo sinabing 80%, may pinanggalingan kung bakit mo sinabing generally feasible ito. Now, those sources, saan po ba ito manggagaling? Ito po sa LDI system natin, map overlay, sasabi natin CBMS, SGLG, VRG, and all other pa po na pwede nating mag-derive, lahat po ng datos doon. Babagsak po ito as observed conditions or the current reality po of your LGUs. And from there, ginawa po natin sa atin pong workshop kanina, we identified the explanation po. What is the cause of that particular scenario, of that particular state? Bakit naman po, ano pong implication when no intervention is introduced? May dinagdag tayo na when a possible intervention is introduced, ano naman po ang mangyayari? And then by then, nakapag-create tayo ng mga specific actions to fill in the gaps po. Tinawag po natin itong policy option. Those are specific actions na makapag-fill in po doon sa na-identified nating conditions or gaps naman po. And then from there, gagawa ho tayo ng goal statement. Ito po, kanina po, yung VRG po, as one source of a sectoral goal, this is an example. Dito po, pansinin niyo po, the descriptors here is peaceful. The success indicator is 0% ang crime rate. Ang current reality rating po ay 6 nila. At meron pa silang 4 score na kailangan nilang i-work out to attain po yung kanila pong success indicator na 0% crime rate. Sabi nga po natin, what to do to close the gap, those are your strategies. Now, sorry. Our policy options, taking po yung sa kanina, napansin po ninyo, when you look into again po yung inyong pong workshop output, napansin nyo po na those are statements nga po, no? Those are statements, general statements nga po, that would answer po the gap identified in doing po yung workshop natin. Nakita natin na ito pala yung scenario ko, ito pala yung gusto kong ma-attain. And then my policy option po are yung po yung bridge nyo po para ma-attain nyo po yung ina-ambisyon natin na atin nga pong end goal. Okay po. There are two methods po on formulating our sectoral goal. We have the long method and we have the short method. On the short method po, we directly inverse lang po the problem. Ano po ba yung ating problema? Literacy rate, hindi po accessible yung education. So just make it, yung atin lang pong reverse state lang po nun. Yun na po yung ating magiging sectoral goal. Okay po. The shortcomings po of the short method is that okay po. On the screen, Okay po. On the screen, ito ho yung shortcomings of ng method na ito. Sometimes kasi, pag minadali niyo yung mga bagay-bagay, hindi na nakaka-capture yung mga importanteng aspeto. Yung mga critical points in planning. We heard kanina na may isang LGU na ang sinabi po kanina ay to shorten na lang daw po, they opted to do the shortcut. Okay po. There are, yun nga po, sabi natin, other observed conditions that needs an in-depth analysis po, upuan, alamin yung cause and effect, na hindi po pwedeng i-shortcut. There are several studies supposed to be na dapat ay i-undertake ng LGU to know more of the causes. Kasi akala lang natin malnutrition is about this particular, an example, malnutrition. Sabi po, for a particular community, ang reason nito ay iba doon sa iba. Until to such time na upo po kayo at yun nga po, makonclude natin that a particular problem is a multifaceted po pala na multidimensional na problema. Hindi lang po isang sektor, kundi transcending siya sa iba pang sektor. So that's why an exploration or an exposition, sabi nga po natin, in-depth study on the observed condition is needed. Limits the range po of solution options or policy interventions. Ito po yung sinasabi nating pag minadali, hilaw ang produkto. Kaya nga po sana kung inyo pong pagmamarapatin, we will go to the long method option po natin na sa LGU encourage na gawin natin is the long method. Okay, this is an example of a problem 3. Okay, in doing the long method, kanina diniscuss natin is the expanded problem solution matrix as framework. Nabanggit ko ho ito kanina that gaps observed conditions coming out from your VRG, other pa po, are to be treated as observed conditions or yung ating nga pong current state. Then by then, sabi po natin, we will extract intelligence on the given data, makikita ho natin, ma-identify natin yung mga gaps po na kailangan nating fill upan. That's why po, after the particular scenario po, we will formulate po or will proceed nga po doon sa extracting intelligence for us to better formulate po a right and appropriate policy option. Ganito po yung nangyari natin kanina. We examine po, di ba po meron tayong rating scale kanina? We opted to do na lang po yung atin pong table. Kasi nga po, because of the limitation of the data. So, sa karamihan ho ng LGU natin ay kulang po sa mga datos, kulang din po sa sources, kulang din po sa oras to gather. So, upon examining po yung atin pong VRG result kanina, we found out that there are success indicators na meron na po, nag-derive na po na ng 0 ang kanila pong score. For example po, because of an example po sa social, we have this particular success indicator, yung sa literacy rate. Opo, it was, kanina po, sa literacy rate, we had a discussion na i-disregard na lang yung particular area na yun kasi naman po, fully attained naman po, 0 na po yung particular na vision reality gap. So, disregard na po yung particular success indicator once it is fully attained. You will know it by, pag nakita nyo ho, the VRG score is 0. Okay, looking into this, okay po. The success indicator po, di ba po, meron tayo dyang okay. Now, looking into this matrix po, kanina po ginawa na ho natin to. We stipulated po the observed conditions po based on our vision element descriptors. Nilagay po natin dyan. We do have fill up po yung atin pong we evaluate po, no? We explain the causal, we explain the cause of the observed gaps. Like for example, kanina, sinabi natin, what is the reason of that particular? For example, hindi po lahat ng barangay ay may health center. The reason is that 7 out of 11 lang po pala yung may mga barangay health center. Yun po yung ilalagay natin dito. Now, for this particular explanation, ang observed condition natin is not all barangay has a barangay health center. Our explanation is that 7 lang po out of the 11 barangays in Belason has a barangay health center. The implication, if it is unresolved naman po, is that yun nga po, yung social services na supposed to be po ay maibibigay ay hindi ho napapaabot sa tao. So what do we mean? What do we put on the policy option? Ang ilalagay lang naman po natin dito sa policy options, sabi nga po natin, are actions to fill in the gap. So dahil nga po walang barangay health center, so or pwede po kayo ditong maglagay regarding po dito sa barangay health center na identify po natin kanina, o the part po daw sa maternal death po kasi yun sa social. Kanina po kasi with our output, we identified na hindi pa po yung regarding the maternal death, that the cause of the maternal death is because of the accessibility of the healthcare services due and by, kasi nga po limited yung atin pong infrastructure. So sa policy options po dito ay nag-make sila na gawin pong accessible yung mga maternal health services. Now, meron na po tayong na-identify na policy option, in formulating po on the long method po, using the long method, we will now just formulate or state po yung ating mga policy options into interventions in the form of a goal statement. How do we do that? We simply just put to make it infinitive. Sabi nga po natin, crafting your policy options, make it a possible sana na start it with an action word and just put a to plus the verb. For example po, to make clean, safe water within reach of every household to make it a goal statement. So with this po, to make clean, safe water within reach of every household is a goal statement. Nakalagay din po dito, note that this goal statement carry both the end and the means to achieve it. So yun po yung atin pong gusto pong i-emphasize dito, that goals are supposed to be, mag-stipulate po siya ng end and means on how are you going to attain a particular po na actions that would fill in the gap po that was identified. Now, on transforming goals into action, Ma'am Sid?
Yes po.
As a closing statement na po, Ma'am Sid.
Okay na, Ma'am Mamay.
Yes po. In crafting in doing this first, in doing the 3.6 steps po in formulation of our CDP, be mindful na lang po on looking back into what is really po the observed conditions, what is really the reality po, and the reasons and the explanations of the cause of the particular observed conditions. Thereby then po, sabi nga po natin, malalaman natin what is truly the problem. Yung pong problema na iyon, yung atin pong susolusyonan in crafting po our policies. In filling in the gap po, we should know first and foremost kung gaano po kalaki yung fill in natin na gap. So by then, mangyayari lamang po iyan if we will conduct an in-depth analysis po on the particular scenario, which is, yan po ay iba-iba per LGU. So bear in mind na ang isang LGU scenario dynamics ay iba po sa isang LGU. So with that, for the transformation, on creating our gaps into goal po.
Okay, maraming salamat, Ma'am Myra. Bigyan ko lang po ng emphasis yung kailangan natin para tayo makaproceed doon sa ating sectoral goals formulation na workshop. So nakalagay po dito, ano-ano ba yung sources na mention ni Ma'am Myra kanina, ano-ano ba yung mga sources ng sectoral goals. So dito po, yung problem solution finding matrix natin, at saka yung vision reality gap na kasalukuyan nating ginagawa na workshop. Kaya nga po na-mention ko kanina, pwede nating balikan, i-refine yung ating mga workshop outputs dun sa problem solution finding matrix at saka vision reality gap, And for map overlay analysis, pwede rin. Yung SIDRA po natin, kasi sa SIDRA, specific na yung mga goals doon sa na-identify after nung sa exposure database at saka doon sa summary of findings. And from our LDIS or RAPIDS at saka sa community-based monitoring system. So paano po natin yan gagawin? So from our BRG, ayan, so based dun sa na-identify natin kanina na current reality at saka vision reality gap, ano yung goals natin? Ano yung objective po natin base dun sa data na nakuha natin dun sa ating initial na analysis. Ano yung gusto nating mangyari? Anong gusto mangyari ni LGU? Tapos kapag sa EPSFM naman, already defined na po yung policy option. So like dito, may clean and safe drinking water within reach of every household. Actually, yung policy for yung goal formulation po, yung transforming yung ating BRG, yung ating EPSFM into goals, yun yung pinakamadaling step. Bakit po? Kasi lalagyan mo lang siya ng word na to. Ayan, so lalagyan mo na siya ng word na to, magiging goal statement na po siya. So ano yung kahalagahan nitong nung nauna nating mga workshop process? Dapat po, ma-ensure natin na macro perspective or general statement yung mapo-formulate natin na policy option. And make sure po natin na yung ating policy option ay nagsisimula sa verb or sa action word. So sabi nga dito, to formulate the goal statement, to plus verb. So pagbalik po natin sa ating mga naunang workshop processes, i-revisit po natin. Nagsisimula ba yung ating mga policy options sa verb? Yung po bang provision, halimbawa, provision of sanitary health kits, siya po ba ay general term? Siya po ba ay in general, Mamayra? So, siya po ba in general term? Siya po ba ay micro perspective? At siya po ba ay nagsisimula sa verb? Kung hindi po, babaguhin po natin siya. And then afterwards po, after po nating makapag-identify ng goal statement, mag-identify naman tayo ng objectives. Sabi po dito, to formulate the associated objective, ayan, so to plus verb plus metrics plus timeline. Na-mention po kanina ni Sir Randolph, doon daw sa pag-formulate ng success indicator, as much as possible, express ito in superlatives. Bakit po? Kasi po yung ating pong vision, kung saan nakaangkla yung ating success indicator, ay long-term. Long-term po yung horizon nito. Long-term po yung time frame ng ating vision. May nag-comment po kanina sa ating chat box na maganda yun, kaya lang for an ideal CDP, baka hindi siya masyadong realistic. Dito po natin sa objective, dito po natin i-identify kung hanggang saan yung timeline at hanggang saan yung metrics. Dito po natin ilalagay yung specifics, the target noong LGU. So, doon po natin ilalagay siya sa objectives. So, ito po ang example using EPSFM. So, based sa inyong identification kanina, naka-formulate tayo ng goal. So, ano po yung goal? Promote safety among residents in the flood-prone barangay. Tama po ba yung goal? May kulang po. Ayan. So, kulang siya ng word na to. So, dapat po is to promote safety. Kasi yung goal na state po nila, ito yung policy option. So, lalagyan lang natin ng word na to, makakabuo na tayo ng goal. Then, objective po niya, to provide safe level 3 water supply to 55 households. Yun po yung ating metrics in 2 upland barangays by end of 2021. And another objective is to upgrade the 3-kilometer water lines in 2 upland barangay. Yan, so yung decision areas po natin, i-define lang natin by 2020. Another example po. Yan, sabi dito, ang success indicator na percentage of labor force not fully employed. So, ang observed condition, dahil daw po maraming yung number of constituents in the labor force not fully employed has slowly increased to 17%. Na dating 16.3. Ang explanation or cause, abrupt increase in migration, some industries or commercial establishments pulled out and conversion of agri-land to subdivisions. Implications when unresolved, yan, occurrence of crimes, prevalence of underemployment, low-income household, at more subsidies from government. Ang goal po, yung policy option, yan, nakalagay naman na, to promote full employment in 5 flood-prone barangays. So, objectives is to reduce percentage of labor force who not fully employed by 2025 and to increase adaptive capacity of OSY by the end of 2020. Another example po, taken out from the SIDRA naman ng ating LGU. The sectoral goal po dito, enhancement of the right of the people to a balanced ecology. So nakalagay dito, ano yung link nito sa climate change and DRR, and then yung enhanced climate change objectives, at saka yung link doon sa LCCAP. Ay, good. I would like to stand corrected. Ito po pala ay sa LCCAP ng LGU, hindi po sa SIDRA. Okay, another goal is the enhancement of economic prosperity and social justice. So nakalagay naman po dito kung ano yung mga issues na sinasagot. So kung mapapansin po natin sa LCCAP, pabaliktad naman siya. Sectoral goal, tapos ililink mo siya dun sa issues ng climate change and DRR, tapos yung new climate change objectives. At how does it relate to the attainment of NCCAP strategic priorities? Ayan. So dadako na po tayo ngayon sa continuation ng ating workshop. So sa setting goals and objectives po natin, ito po yung mga sources again ng sectoral goals, DRG, EPSFM, MAP, Overlay, SIDRA, LDIS, at saka CBMS. Then, taking off from the previous workshop outputs, now identify the goals and objectives. So objectives or strategies.